Hello, Katie. Good to meet you.
Hi, Sarah. Lovely to meet you.
So Katie's on the board of Transform Housing. And Katie, to start off with, could you just tell us what Transform does?
So Transform, we're the largest charity in Surrey. We're primarily a housing association. We provide housing and support for over 1,500 people each year. It's a wonderful charity and it's a real privilege to be involved.
How long have you been on the board?
I've been on the board about 3 years now. I think about 3 years.
And what's your role? Are you a general board member? Is there anything specific that you were brought on to bring?
So I'm a general board member. I chair the Development and Asset Management Committee, and I sit on a couple of the other committees. But I would say my background very much is in customer and digital. So lots of experience in how you automate, how you digitize, how you embrace the new modern world in which we're living, and make that really relevant for members.
Brilliant. And Katie, I know Transform are looking for one more board member, and that's why we're making this video. What sort of skills and experience are they looking for?
So it's a really easygoing board. I sit on a couple of other boards, and I'd say this is a particularly lovely group of people. Everybody's really, really committed to doing the best job we can for the people that we support. It's very open dialogue, lots of really open challenge, but we're then quite tight knit. So once we've made a decision, we stick by it and back each other up. I think what the board is looking for is somebody that can come and isn't afraid to challenge, isn't afraid to do things differently. We've got a lot of big challenges coming our way, not least ESG, and the challenge for net zero is going to be a huge challenge for this sector. How we retrofit lots of the properties, how that impacts on valuations, etc. So somebody that kind of is interested in that area would be fantastic. Don't need specific skills in that area because I think we've got that covered. But yeah, a general interest would be great. And just an openness, really. This is an organisation that has transformed massively, pardon the pun, over the last few years, and is still in huge transformation. So yeah, open-minded, not afraid to express a view, friendly, yeah, challenging. That's what we're looking for.
And Katie, are there any specific backgrounds and skill areas that would be helpful?
I think a passion for and an understanding of digital transformation is key, because we have leapfrogged quite significantly because of COVID, like many organisations that suddenly went, oh goodness, how on earth are we all going to get all of our people to work from home? They haven't all got a laptop and so on. We took a massive step forward there, but we need to continue the transformation that started to a fully digitised, automated in parts organisation. So some curiosity, passion, experience in that area would be really appreciated.
Brilliant. And Katie, why did you take on the role, and sort of why would you recommend this role to others?
Why did I take on the role? I was looking for a non-exec role, and it was my first non-exec. I was really interested in helping locally, so I live in Surrey. Transform is literally 5 minutes up the road from me, so being able to actually give something back to the local area was really, really key for me. I was particularly interested in housing and how housing has to modernise, how housing has to well, everything I've talked about on ESG, how ultimately housing is going to embrace all of that challenge. So that was why I joined the board, and I really just loved everybody I met, both exec and non-exec. It felt like a really great place for me to sort of learn my non-exec skills. And 3 years on, I'm now a PLC board director and aside of my exec day job, and I've got another trustee role. So I feel like Transform really gave me the foundations to understand how to be a non-exec and how to operate really effectively, and obviously as a trustee rather than a non-exec. So yeah, it's been an amazing journey for me.
That's brilliant. And I always know, like from my own experience as well, it's really helpful if the first board you join has a really good governance setup, so that you learn from a good board. So it sounds like you have. That's awesome. So Katie, you live 5 minutes down the road. That's very close. We know that applicants don't need to live quite that close, but because particularly for non-exec roles, you can travel to get to a non-exec role. But obviously, it'd be amazing if someone happened to be in the Surrey area and had that passion for the area. How often do you meet? Do you meet in person? Is it hybrid?
Totally. Like, gosh, I'm in no way thinking that another trustee needs to live as close as I do. We tend to be operating in a hybrid environment, like actually like all of my boards and my exec roles are now, which has been brilliant. So as somebody with a few different non-exec roles, it's meant that instead of it being like the whole day out for that board, as used to come on your board schedule, you need this date, this date, this date, it's actually maybe a meeting in the morning, and you can kind of either work from there or fit in other meetings around it. So I've been back into the Transform offices, I think 3 times since COVID. Each time I have loved it and really sort of remembered how much more present sometimes you can be when you go physically there. But I can't make it work all the time. I've got 3 kids. I'm trying to juggle a day job and a few other things and advisory boards and stuff, so it just doesn't always work. But when we do meet in person, it is actually really good. We had a dinner probably, I don't know, a month or 2 ago, and it was just lovely to reconnect with everyone and remember just kind of those one-to-one conversations that you can have over dinner, or while you're making a cup of tea at the beginning of the board meeting, rather than on Zoom where you just don't actually get that one-to-one interaction. But it's completely open, whatever works for the individual. I think we all just do our own thing, sometimes there, sometimes Teams or Zoom or whatever we're on.
Okay, and how often do the main board meet?
I think, now you're asking me, I think it's once a quarter.
Okay.
I think we meet once a quarter as a main board, and then there's committees. Some of the committees are 3 times a year, some of the committees are 4 times a year. For me, it tends to work really well in that most of the board meetings, we have one today actually, they tend to be late afternoon into the evening, which again means for me with the day job, it works really, really well. That I can just kind of manage my schedule accordingly. That I can't recall a single meeting that has been plumb in the middle of the day or first thing in the morning.
Well, Katie, thank you so much for your time, and to those candidates that are thinking about applying, we hope this has helped you, and good luck with your applications.
Thanks, Sarah. It's been an absolute pleasure to meet you, and I look forward to meeting lots of the people that hopefully will apply if I haven't put you off too much.
You sure you haven't?